Dr. Julius Robert Oppenheimer, also known as J. Robert Oppenheimer, was a brilliant physicist and is known to history as the father of the atomic bomb. He was known for his ability to turn theory into a practical weapon. But who could have imagined that the man behind the most groundbreaking innovation of the 20th century would be plagued by such a heavy conscience? After the successful testing of the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer famously quoted a line from Hindu scripture, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
His words captured a moment that forever changed the course of history. Indeed, the story of Oppenheimer is one that is truly fascinating. In this video, we will see who exactly the man was and why his life was and will forever be a compelling tale. Oppenheimer was born on April 22, 1904, in New York City. He came from a well-to-do family that encouraged intellectual pursuits. Growing up on Riverside Drive, young Robert enjoyed a life of privilege, with the grand Hudson River flowing like a stream of possibilities outside of his window. His father, Julius, a successful textile importer, and his mother, Ella, an artist, filled their home with books, art, and stimulating conversation. As a child, Oppenheimer showed remarkable intellectual aptitude and a voracious curiosity. By the age of 10, he had mastered several classic texts and developed a love for botany, immersing himself in the study of plants. As a teenager, he attended the Ethical Culture Fieldston School, where he excelled in Latin, Greek, and physics. His teachers described him as astonishingly brilliant. In 1922, at the age of 18, Oppenheimer entered Harvard University with the intention of becoming a chemist. However, the world of quantum mechanics soon seduced him, and he switched his focus to theoretical physics. His early years were characterized by this intense intellectual curiosity, a trait that would serve him well in his future career, but also make him acutely aware of the moral implications of his scientific endeavors. Oppenheimer's early life was a cocktail of privilege, intellect, and unbridled curiosity that would pave the way for his involvement in one of the most consequential scientific projects in history. Little did the boy, who once reveled in the study of plants and classical languages, know that he would grow up to hold the fate of humanity in his hands. J. Robert Oppenheimer's role in the Manhattan Project is a tale of brilliance and audacity that changed the world. In 1942, amidst the turmoil of World War II, Oppenheimer was chosen to lead a secret mission that would alter the course of history. The Manhattan Project, as it was codenamed, aimed to build an atom bomb before the Nazis. Oppenheimer, only 38 years old and largely inexperienced in management, was an unlikely choice. However, he eventually proved himself to be at the helm of a project that would harness the very fabric of the universe. The challenge was immense. Oppenheimer gathered the brightest minds of the time in a secret laboratory in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Together, they embarked on a race against time, wrestling with the complexities of nuclear physics and the urgency of war. The scientific camaraderie was palpable, and Oppenheimer became the glue that held this motley crew of geniuses together. The Trinity test on July 16, 1945, was a significant milestone in the Manhattan Project, marking the first successful detonation of an atomic bomb. J. Robert Oppenheimer and his team watched as their creation exploded with a force equivalent to 20,000 tons of TNT, illuminating the New Mexico desert and creating a new mineral called trinitite from the melted sand. This moment was a culmination of years of effort, but it was also the beginning of a new era marked by nuclear weaponry. In that moment, it was realized that the power that was just unleashed could both end the war and cast a shadow over the world for generations to come. Just 3 weeks later, 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, leading to Japan's surrender and to the end of World War II. The bombs caused unimaginable destruction and loss of life, prompting Oppenheimer to reflect on the consequences of his work. As he later famously said, he felt like he had become death, the destroyer of worlds. The bombings sparked a debate about the ethics and implications of nuclear weapons that continues to this day. In creating the most powerful weapon the world had ever seen, Oppenheimer had helped end one war. But he also introduced a new and enduring source of global tension. J. Robert Oppenheimer, once celebrated as the father of the atomic bomb, soon became a tormented figure, grappling with the moral and ethical implications of his work. He watched the unfathomable destruction brought upon Hiroshima and Nagasaki and was consumed with remorse. The weight of the deaths and devastation haunted him, and he struggled to reconcile his role in ushering in the nuclear age. Oppenheimer's inner turmoil led him to become an outspoken critic of further nuclear weapons developments and advocate for arms control. He famously declared that scientists should not only be concerned with whether they could achieve something, but also ponder if they should. Oppenheimer's transformation from a brilliant physicist to a vocal anti-nuclear activist highlighted the complex intersection of science, ethics, and humanity. His later years were marked by a desire to prevent the same weapons he helped create from ever being used again. J. Robert Oppenheimer's fall from grace was as swift as it was dramatic. He, who had once been hailed as a national hero for his work on the Manhattan Project, suddenly found himself under intense scrutiny during the Red Scare of the 1950s. At a time when anti-communists' paranoia was at its height, Oppenheimer's past associations with left-leaning organizations and individuals came under the spotlight. His own wife, Kitty, had been a member of the Communist Party, and that connection would be used against him. Oppenheimer's outspoken stance against further nuclear weapons development and his advocacy for arms control had already put him at odds with influential figures in the defense establishment. Lewis Strauss, the chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, led the charge against him. A security panel was convened to examine Oppenheimer's loyalty and trustworthiness. Despite overwhelming evidence supporting his loyalty and the fact that he had willingly disclosed all information about his past connections, the panel voted against him. Stripped of his security clearance and humiliated in the eyes of the public, Oppenheimer retreated into academic exile at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. America's foremost scientist had been cast aside, and the country lost an important voice in the debate over nuclear proliferation. The controversy revealed the tensions and fears of a nation struggling to navigate the complexities of the Cold War. J. Robert Oppenheimer's life came to a close on February 18, 1967, leaving behind a legacy that was as paradoxical as his role in history. The man who had shepherded the creation of the atomic bomb and was instrumental in ending World War II found himself burdened by a sense of moral responsibility. The very weapon he helped birth haunted him, and he grappled with the consequences of unleashing such an immense and destructive power. Oppenheimer's legacy extends beyond the scientific realm. It's a reflection of the complex interplay between humanity's thirst for knowledge and the ethical dilemmas that arise when knowledge is turned into a destructive force. His warnings about the danger of nuclear weapons would prove prophetic as the world navigated the treacherous waters of the Cold War. While he was initially vilified for his perceived political leanings and stripped of his security clearance, time and hindsight have shifted the perspective on Oppenheimer. In December of 2022, the Department of Energy formally vacated the security clearance revocation, signaling a belated recognition of the injustices he suffered. Oppenheimer's legacy stands as a reminder to the ethical dimensions of scientific advancement, a cautionary tale to the dual nature of knowledge, and a symbol of the challenges faced by those who push the boundaries of human understanding. His story serves as a testament to the enduring complexities of science, ethics, and the human spirit.